So there was a story today that the Steelers are talking about trading T.J. Watt. T.J. Watt wants another contract. He's got 1 year, $21 million, I think, left. Non-guaranteed left on it. So, was this public, the Filipponi thing?
He said it on our airways.
He said it on our airways. Okay. Andrew Filipponi, I didn't know he was on with us, of our station in Pittsburgh, said that he thought that Nolan Smith and a late-round pick would get you T.J. Watt. Which, look, T.J. Watt is awesome. Ike went through the stats the other day. It's
crazy.
You look at T.J. Watt stats and Myles Garrett stats, they're like the same.
Mm-hmm. Slightly better.
Yeah. Now, you would have to pay T.J. Watt, one would assume. Would you do that deal?
So, I think I would do it. I would do it.
And I would pay him.
And I would pay him. I would do it.
Wow.
Now, I don't think they will. So I'm doing this thing for
they're colluding.
Yeah, exactly. They're colluding. Yeah. I'm doing positional previews leading up to training camp. Go Birds Pod, available on all the podcast platforms over the next week, right? And when I went over the defensive ends, I'm not going to lie, I got way more nervous when I went over it than maybe I've expressed on air.
I've only asked you 100 times.
I'm saying I think you might have been on to something.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. If you look, I can admit when I'm wrong.
Okay,
I'm not wrong about Wheeler, but I'm happy to admit.
I was like, you're that psyched about Jalen.
Well, I think I've almost said it so many times that I feel optimistic about him that I'm now assuming they're great players.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If you look at the amount of snaps they played last year, I mean, Jalen Hunt played 350 snaps, something like that. He was barely out there. Nolan Smith was really, really good, but it was also only for 10 games. I would guess that of all the teams we would view as legit Super Bowl contenders, they probably have the least amount of snaps from their edges last year of any team. So while I am high on Nolan Smith, and it would definitely sting to give up on a talent like that, and I do think he's good for their locker room. I mean, T.J. Watt is way better than Nolan Smith. It's not even close.
I mean, category.
And it makes everybody better. It makes Jalen Carter better. It makes Jalen Hunt better.
Oh my God!
And
T.J. Watt and Jalen Carter.
Oh my God!
Man.
And he's what, 30?
Yeah.
So maybe
got some good years left.
If you give him $75 million guaranteed, and he's here for 3 years.
3 years. Yep.
So I think it's got to be closer to 100.
Well, I'm just talking guaranteed. He would probably get more than that.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't think they will do it, but I would trade Nolan Smith in a late round pick for TJ.
So Filipponi clarified. He said he thought a third and Nolan Smith.
Yeah, that's fine.
A third.
Yeah, as long as it's not a first or a second. I mean, they have 13 draft picks next year,
and they can't use all of them,
and they don't need them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Where are they going to put them at?
Yeah. And they are a win now team. So while TJ Watt is not 26, 27, he's also not 34.
Right.
Like you can have him for, if you get 2 elite years out of, I mean, TJ Watt could realistically have more sacks in the next 2 years than Nolan Smith has in his Eagles career.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's not crazy to think. If
he could have 30 sacks in the next 2 years.
Yeah. So, I would do it.
Wow.
Speaking of 30, he's had 30 the last 2 years.
There you go.
He's had 30 the last 2 years.
Now, Nolan did have 10 sacks, or I think it was 9 sacks in the final 10 or 11 games.
Yeah.
Would you guys?
I would do it.
I would do it, yeah.
I just like, it makes me, I know this is the caricature of me at this point, but we lost a lot of talent on defense.
Yeah.
We lost a lot of players. Mm-hmm. And when you look at the next year and you're like, who am I sure about? Like even Zach Bond, who I'm mostly sure about, I've only seen him do it for 1 year.
Right.
Yes.
Mr. Zach Bond over there.
Well, no, 1 year. Same with Quinion.
Agreed.
Yeah, I've seen him do it for 1 year. All that, and the edge thing. Honestly, the edge thing made me nervous last year. And last year we had Josh Sweat. You know what I mean? And we lost him.
The other reason,
and we had BG.
The other point you've been making that might end up being correct is their depth is pretty bad. When you look at the guys, I mean, so all right, N'Kobe played almost 800 snaps last year. That's a lot of snaps to fill.
Yes.
With other, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, I think was overrated, but he did play a lot. They are counting on guys to take steps forward, and I think there's reason to believe they can. But it's asking, when you go through the 90-man roster and you look position by position, which I'm doing on the Go Birds Pod, available on all platforms, you can see the lack of experience they have.
Yeah, well,
it really stands out.
They're counting on guys who couldn't even get on the field last year.
Yeah.
Like that. That's the thing that worries me about Keely Ringo is that when, and I understand all of the circumstances, but when Slay went down, it was Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah.
And when
Chauncey went down, it was Tristan McCullum.
It was Tristan McCullum.
Yep. And N'Kobe went down, it was Oren Burks.
Right. And now we have Junior in there or whoever. So, and these rookies, I haven't seen them. There's just a lot of ifs for a team that won a Super Bowl with a number one defense last year.
The other concern I think is fair to have going into next season is we talk so much about how much Saquon played. He, all the touches, all that. Jalen Carter played, 1,000 snaps or something crazy, 800 something snaps.
Second most of any defensive line player, I think, in the league.
He had 75 hurries last year. That's the most a defensive tackle has had for the Eagles since Fletcher, and I think 2018. Jalen could take a step back. I'm just like he played a lot last year to all of a sudden be like he's definitely going to be that. He did.
No, I'm still on TJ.
Okay, all right.
I'm still on TJ. I mean, we literally went bonkers about Myles Garrett.
Yes.
At the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
TJ's the better player. Just from a stats point.
Yeah.
He's put up better numbers. They came in the same year.
Yep.
They got the same awards, same accolades, Defensive Player of the Year, all that stuff. I'm just saying, one guy has 102, other guy has 108. Here's the one thing that I'm looking at. Forced fumbles. TJ Watt, 33 forced fumbles to Myles Garrett's 20.
Over how many years?
Both 8 years.
Wow. That's a lot.
Like they both played the same amount of years.
Would you trade Nolan in a first?
Nolan in the first. That's a lot because I got to get a first and the money and Nolan.
Yeah, the money is.
That's a lot.
I don't think the Steelers are going to trade him. Maybe I'll be wrong, but it would be weird to sign Aaron Rodgers, Darius Slay, Jalen, all these old guys,
But I think what they were maybe hoping is
and DK Metcalf.
Yeah, we'll go all in this year. And if it doesn't work, maybe we reset. You give a 30-year-old defensive end $100 million, all of a sudden that reset becomes a lot more difficult. And DK Metcalf's younger, right? He's 27,
yeah, he's on the younger
26.
Side. But now, I don't know if the Steelers are run as well as they have been in past years. Like when Ike brought up they haven't won a playoff game in 9 years or whatever, that's pretty crazy. But would it worry you at all that they're willing to move on from TJ?
This seems to happen in football.
I mean, he's not that old. He's super productive. He was drafted there. I mean, it's not.
It makes you worry because the Steelers don't usually do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only time they actually have done it, it didn't turn out to hurt them, but they did let a guy go in the prime. That was Antonio Brown.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he was crazy as hell.
I was going to say that they recognized
that. Yeah, they recognized that, and that don't seem to be an issue with TJ. 30 years old, man. I certainly would consider.
Is he 30 all year, or is he 31?
That's a good question. I don't know when the birthday is. Do not have his birthday in.
All right, fair enough.
By the way, officially Phillies game canceled tonight.
Okay.
So if you're on your way down, turn around,
head back.
105 and 6:15 tomorrow.
105. Oh, so it was supposed to be what, 2:20 tomorrow? I thought the first game.
I think it was.
Or was it? Oh no, it was a 105 game.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
105. Oh, so
30. He played at 30.
So split doubleheader.
So how old is he now?
That's what I'm saying. He might already be 31. I don't even know.
All right, we'll keep.
So a split doubleheader tomorrow. Yeah.
Split doubleheader.
What happened?
We lost you to
so
TJ Wattland.
Yeah.
We had a whole conversation about the Phillies game getting canceled. you just weren't
still
even
over
there.
here with TJ. Yeah. I'm like, man,
so
we need to get this done.
Yeah.
TJ turns 31 October 11th.
Oh, man, he's a
man,
Libra.
He's old.
Yeah, it's right there.
Look at you. Are you a Libra?
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to say knowing that is pretty
That's why
crazy.
he knows. Yeah.
I don't know any other signs.
I
know that.
It's like he's a Sagittarius.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a good segment, by the way. Just astrology.
You can name them all?
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No. I know the Pisces,
I probably
Leo,
could. No, it depends on how long it would take me to name them all. Leo,
Yeah.
Scorpio, Sagittarius.
Could you name all the capitals?
Well, Buzz is naming all the
Aries.
capitals.
Oh, dude, Buzz is Mr. Capital over there.
Yeah,
shocker.
Interesting.
Yeah, it needs to be Mr. Make sure people are ready to talk.
Him
on
and
the phone.
Angelina both
Pisces.
locked in on the capitals.
Yeah, good. They're locked in on the right stuff there still.
Taurus.
All right.
Wait, what one was that?
Taurus.
Taurus. Yeah, my dad was
The
That's
horse.
May.
Yeah.
Like
Pisces is March and
Taures. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Aquarius is January, February.
What's a Cancer? Cancer is which
Cancer is in there somewhere.
All right, we're breaking.
Okay.
Okay. You can get the Go Birds pod. You told me to tell you.
That's all you got to do.
Okay. You can get the Go Birds podcast wherever you get your podcast. Comes out every single day. Go Birds Daily.